What's up, guys? It's Mama Deadhead, and I am back with another Fear Friday, my favorite day of the week. This is gonna be my favorite Fear Friday, probably other than the one where I talked about actually meeting the actor that plays Strand, but this is by far my favorite scene, like, in the entire show. I love it so much. Like, it's just so complex, and I wanted to make this video slightly different than some of the other ones that I've seen about this particular scene. That being said, next week will most likely be some sort of reaction to the smaller previews that have come out today. I noticed that a certain website came out with like smaller, like a small preview, like I think it was about 15-20 seconds. I still haven't seen it. I'm really just honestly waiting for like AMC to like bring an official preview because I don't know if these are accurate or doctored in some way. I'm just not 100% sure. So I want to make sure that everything is like 100% legit and like good to bring to you guys. And hopefully a longer one. I don't really just want to react to like a 15-second clip. That being said, I talked about this in a previous video. I have a wonderful subscriber, Kat. She always comments really long comments on all of my Fear Fridays, which is awesome because I love finding people passionate about Fear the Walking Dead. It seriously just makes my life complete because I love this show. That being said, I'm going to be talking about something different in this video. First, I'm going to go over what a lot of people go over whenever they talk about this scene. And this scene is Strand boards the Abigail for the last time, and he talks to an astronaut, then he proceeds to burn Abigail, and it's just this like big, I don't know how to explain it. It's complex. There's so much passion in it. There's just so many different things going on, and it leaves you with a sense of like loneliness. And I remember when I first watched this scene, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that I actually reacted to this on YouTube for the first time whenever I saw it. I'll have to actually go back and see. I didn't even check. But the entire scene left me feeling lonely. And it's really weird coming from a TV show, and I was with Athena, so like I have Athena with me whenever I'm watching this particular episode, and I'm not alone, and of course I can just reach out to somebody and they're gonna be there, and I have my phone and I can text them, but like this scene, whenever the astronaut talks about the entire world like going dark, it brings you down into like a bubble of loneliness. And I just remember thinking like, that's heavy. Like this scene is so heavy, and it like weighed on me for like a couple of days because I was just thinking about like the astronaut's position and like how it must feel and how it would actually feel to be in an apocalypse, especially in a situation that Strand's in. And I felt lonely. It's so weird to say, but this particular scene just made me feel so lonely. That being said, I'm not going over whenever I'm watching this back, I'm not going to be talking about the astronaut being real. This is an alternate theory that I've thought about, and it's just something that's been on my mind, and I talked about with Kat a little bit, that I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it as a real scene. But I will talk about it being real now. I'm going to go over it now and some of the things said. So basically, Strand boards Abigail. He gets the champagne. It's kind of like a huzzah type moment. He goes to the top of Abigail where there is a radio. And lo and behold, a voice comes through, and it is a Russian astronaut. And he says that, not only is it the United States, but it's the entire world. It's not just in one small area. It's literally covering the globe, and like the world is gone, basically. Now, in the normal Walking Dead show, we learn that France is, I said that so skeptically, I'm pretty sure it's France. But it said at the CDC that France was closest to a cure. So we know that it went to some other places, but we didn't know exactly what all it did affect. So it is confirmed here that it affected the entire world. This astronaut was able to see it, and it happened 3 days before he got to come back, and he's talking from his grave like he's going to die. There's no way out of it. There's, like, he can't get back, and it's just an extremely dramatic scene. I mean, even if he would come back, think about it. All the walkers that would come to a ship landing on Earth. So let's be realistic. It would be horrifying. But all of that aside, I've always felt this scene, especially watching it back, that there's just so many hints that there is no astronaut. And I know that sounds crazy, and I know some people will say that I'm reading into it too far, but there's just so many small hints about certain things said and the way Strand is acting. And what I think it is Strand has gone there and he is suicidal. It's very obvious in the reaction whenever I'm going to play it for you guys that, I mean, he doesn't want to live anymore. He's losing that will to live, and he's having a difficult time, and he's, like, super emotional. So in this particular scene, I'm going to watch it now, and I'm going to point out some stuff that I've seen and what I think about this alternate theory. So let's go ahead and start. You see him, like, accepting it. Like, accepting that everything's gone. With a slight smile. And then here's his voice.
Hello? Hello?
Алло, кто-то меня слышит? Говорит космонавт Валерий Степанович Вашенко. Hello, this is cosmonaut Valery Stepanovich Vashenko of the Space Force Soyuz.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Are you there?
I love it.
Yuri?
This is Victor Strand in Baja, California. I read you loud and clear. Do you know what's happened in North America, Mr. Vashenko?
North America. You sound like an American, my friend. Thinking everything happens only to him.
Only to you.
So it's not just here?
I saw the lights go out on the world 3 days before my scheduled re-entry. A dramatic show. I
Horrifying to
speak to
think
you
of.
from my grave.
I speak to you from my grave.
Sorry. At least you got to go to space. I doubt that anyone else will have the opportunity.
Sure.
I would give it all up for one last glass of vodka.
How about champagne?
I'm dying. Haven't had champagne in a long time.
Chekhov.
Oh, his final words.
Either this wallpaper goes, or I do.
Wild.
Yes.
He looks so desperate in his face.
Born in a hotel room, and goddamn it, died in a hotel room.
I've seen this scene so many
you.
times.
Yes.
Last words are for fools who have not said enough.
Last words are for fools who have not said enough.
Marx.
You see everything drain.
Marx.
Everything drain from his face.
Tell me about your champagne, Victor Strand.
It's a 1985 Dom Perignon vintage. Mr. Vashenko.
You're breaking it up, my friend. The world turns.
The world is dead.
The world will not die until you die.
The world will not die until you die.
Do not wait for your deathbed to enjoy your champagne, Victor.
Don't wait for your deathbed to enjoy your champagne.
Mr. Vashenko.
You can see the tears just streaming down his face. Oh my heart. Like, I hate seeing such a strong character cry. Just.
До свидания.
Hi, Abigail. Precious Abigail. Alright, so that is the end of the scene. Alright guys, so whenever I was just watching that clip back, I did say some things out loud that I wanted you guys to remember so that I could have like a little discussion after the clip, so I could tell you guys why I think it's possible that this scene didn't happen the way that we think it did. I don't think that the astronaut is really there or really real. First off, I just want to say so many things had to happen for this scene to come together the way it did. Strand had to find Abigail, which is already a huge long shot. He had to like find her, not all together, but mostly together for the simple fact he had to go to the roof where the radio was. The radio had to still be working. It just so happened that an astronaut was able to communicate on it, which like all of this stuff is possible, but it's just all of it happening at one time just makes it like less likely in my mind. Then the Russian astronaut has to speak good English, and he has to know not only a different language, not only a whole different language, but a variety of people to quote from that Strand and him would both know. Like, what are the odds of all of that happening together? That being said, the quotes that I said, when they were going back and forth with quotes, the Russian astronaut, he said a quote from Karl Marx, and it was, "Last words are for fools who haven't said enough." So this was one of those tiny hints that maybe Strand went somewhere to end it all. Maybe he did go to really take his own life, because that's the feel that I got from that scene personally. Please do not kill yourself. It was so out of character for his character. His character is quirky and out there and weird and like passionate and just like overall crazy. So to have a scene like this, crazy in a good way, but like to have a scene like this where it's just at one moment Strand is here and then he's like not even on camera. He's like beyond the floor, like down, like as low can get for this character. It just really threw me off. Another thing that was said, whenever the astronaut was talking back to Strand, is basically, you know, the world doesn't die until you die. So I think that was another thing that was, you know, Strand changing his mindset of maybe not doing this and coming back from it. And then there is the don't wait for your deathbed to enjoy your champagne. So when the astronaut says this, it struck me in a profound way, because he found Abigail, which, like I've said in previous videos, is his symbol for life. This is a symbol of like his boyfriend and his past life and, you know, before the apocalypse and what it was like for him. So for him to find Abigail, then go on and, you know, get the champagne and go to the roof, it felt like a last huzzah. Like this was going to be the end of his character, and I was like legit kind of freaking out because I thought that this was going to be the end for Strand. So this astronaut says, don't, you know, wait for your deathbed to enjoy the champagne. And to me, it's just Strand struggling with all the stuff that he is now having to deal with, being so different from his life before the apocalypse. So then, you know, we see the scene, you know, fade off, and Strand does say one last thing, and for those that don't know, I looked it up because I was really curious. It's Russian for goodbye. So I mean, not only does the Russian astronaut know a different language, but Strand also knows some Russian as well, which would make sense with, you know, his like con man background. But yeah, guys, I don't know. I think with all of it together, plus the end of the actual episode that I didn't get to show you guys because it's not in with that scene, because it's not, you know, talking to the astronaut, he burns Abigail. So glad to see him not give up. That's such a huge symbolic thing because Abigail is literally everything. We know how much he loves Abigail from like the beginning of the series when it was his boat. Like it's his boat, his rules. So for him to burn Abigail was just a really big deal to me. Whenever I saw it, I was just like this is a new beginning for Strand. So that's why I'm kind of doubting. I'm kind of doubting that it was legitimate. If it was 100% legitimate and I'm just insane and stupid for this theory, that's cool. I get it. The entire scene would be amazing if it was real. But there's just so much stuff surrounding the scene that, I don't know, I just feel is too much to not be anything at all, if that makes sense. So, that's going to be it for this video. I really appreciate you guys watching it. By far, like I've said, my favorite scene in this entire series. It just left me feeling so lonely. I don't know how that's possible for a show, but I remember when I originally watched this and I truly thought about it and I was like, you know, like this guy literally watched the entire world go black during the zombie apocalypse. Like he's alone. I just like had to sit back and I was like, this scene is so heavy. It's so heavy, it's so real as to like how people even feel now with, you know, YouTube and texting and phone calls and Facebook and everything, and people still feel like lonely. I could never imagine something like Strand was going through at that point in time. So yeah, a TV show left me feeling lonely. One scene from a TV show left me feeling lonely for like 2 days. It was insane. But comment below, what's your favorite scene from Fear the Walking Dead? I know that a couple have been discussed on some of my last videos. Again, Kat with amazing comments. Thank you. Hopefully you enjoyed this video because I love Strand. I love this scene and I love everything about it and I love all the symbols behind everything. So, Kat, what do you think? What do you think about this? Well, what do you think about what I'm saying? I know that you'll be pretty curious to see this video and see this alternate theory that I have told you about. But yeah, probably real. This is just something that has been on my mind for quite a while. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I really appreciate you guys watching. Like always, comment below if you have any questions that you want to ask. I really want to do a questions video, but whenever I ask, I just don't get enough questions. I don't want it to be like 2 questions in a video. I want to answer like a whole bunch in one video, so comment below if you guys have any questions for me. But that's going to be it for this video. Most likely next week is going to be a preview if it comes out. If it does not come out, then it's going to be breakdown of Nick's character and my feelings on him, which I still don't know my feelings. So I'm going to have to watch the series back at some point and try and formulate what I think about him because it's just weird. But yeah, again, for like the 3rd time, this is going to be all for this video. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for all the love you give me on Fear Fridays. I love Fear the Walking Dead. But yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks guys so much for watching. Remember, like, subscribe. Bye guys.